Jamie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Why is a picture not working? What's up, Jamie?
So this is Commissioner Dean. I have an appointment with the judge on the Third Circuit in Hilo at 6:30. And I should be able to jump back in around, I'm sorry, I got the time wrong, 1:30 p.m. So 1:30 p.m. I'll have to jump off, and then I should be able to jump back in around 2 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, Scotty, we can get started whenever you're ready.
Okay, I don't know why my picture isn't coming through, but anyway, or at least. Okay, prior to starting this meeting, I want to announce that this meeting is being recorded and that the recording and written summary will serve as the official minutes. Jamie, do you have any other housekeeping announcements?
I do. So all participants except for the commissioners will be muted until public testimony. And all non-commissioners should have their video turned off until you're called on during public testimony. And for everyone to please remember to identify yourselves before speaking. Okay, Scotty.
Okay, thank you. Call this meeting to order. Our first business is to swear in our new commissioner. Commissioner Mota, are you available?
Yes, I am.
All right. Sir, could you please raise your right hand? I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will
I do.
support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Hawaii. Are you talking? You're not talking.
And the Constitution of the State of Hawaii.
And that I will faithfully discharge my duties as an elections commissioner to the best of my ability.
And that I will faithfully discharge my duty as a commissioner to the best of my abilities.
Thank you very much. You are now legal. Welcome. All right, roll call, please.
Chair Anderson,
Present.
Commissioner Curtis,
Here.
Commissioner Dean,
Here.
Commissioner Kiguchi,
Here.
Commissioner Kohler,
I can see her.
oh, Commissioner Kohler, I think your microphone is muted. well, she is present. Commissioner
Hmm.
Kuwata,
There we go. I'm here.
thank you. Commissioner Kuwata, I see him as well, but I'm not sure if his audio is working.
Okay.
Commissioner Mota,
Here,
He's here. Okay.
Commissioner Seilstad, Commissioner Takinaka.
Here,
We have a quorum, Chair.
Thank you. Call for a motion to approve the minutes of our meeting of February the 8th, 2021.
Commissioner Kohler so moves.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
second, Cynthia Takinaka.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Our next business is the status of operations report from our Chief Election Officer, Scott Nago.
All right, I've submitted my status of operations report. I'm going to briefly summarize everything. In the 2021 session, we had 4 bills go to the governor for signature. 3 of them are awaiting signature. 1 has been already signed as Act 7. That bill now changes the requirement of issuing proclamations from the chief election officer to the county clerks when it comes to places of deposits of voter service centers. Senate Bill 159, which is waiting for a signature on the governor's desk, relates to automatic voter registration. This allows for the electronic transfer of voter registration files from the DMV to the various election offices, so that they can do voter registration without having to enter in the data. Senate Bill 548 is an elections by mail housekeeping bill. One of the things this bill does is it changes the voter registration deadline from 30 days prior to the election to 10 days. It also says that ballots must be mailed out at least 18 days prior to the election. It allows for pre-processing of ballots from 10 days prior to the election to 18 days, and various other housekeeping measures. The last bill, Senate Bill 1350, relates to reapportionment. This bill takes the recommendations of the last reapportionment commission in 2011 and implements that. But as it relates to elections, it amends the candidate filing deadline for the 2022, the candidate filing start date for the 2022 election from February 1st to March 1st, as well as provides funding for the reapportionment commission next fiscal year. We're working on 2 things. One of them is ballot tracking. We are working with our vendor to provide notification of outgoing mail tracking. Voters would be able to opt in via either email or text message to receive an alert as to when their ballot was mailed out and when they should be receiving it. The other thing we're working on is reapportionment. The chief election officer serves as the secretary to the reapportionment commission and provides all the technical expertise. So we started to hire staff, a project manager, as well as we have an offer out to an administrative assistant and a secretary to support that reapportionment commission. They've had 2 meetings so far. They selected a chair. As you may or may not know, that the data that they normally would use to start the process is delayed to mid-August. So the Attorney General has filed a writ with the Supreme Court to extend the deadline to no later than February 27th. And we have not heard back from I have not heard back from the Supreme Court. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners, questions? None?
This is Mike Curtis.
Yes. Go
I
ahead.
was curious about the reapportionment, whether you're applying the technology of geographic information systems and analyzing that to make sure that it's not like dragon districts to where the voters are contiguous and proportionate to their representation. The geographic information systems.
So we do have a GIS vendor that we've part of the money that we do get in this bill will be used for it. And they assist us in, or they assist the commission in drawing the lines. As far as the compact, those kind of criteria, the commission is made aware of those types of criteria, such as no, it has to be a compact continuous district, like population. So they are made aware of that, and they do follow those when they do draw the lines.
Thank you.
Any other commissioners? Any members of the public who would like to comment or ask a question may do so at this time. They have to let the staff know who's talking, go before, please.
Excuse me, Scotty, I have a quick question. Where
Sure,
is
absolutely.
Commissioner Mata from? Our new commissioner.
Oh.
County
Commissioner
of
Mata,
Hawaii.
where are you from? Okay. Island of Hawaii.
I'm from Hilo.
Yeah. He's taking the chief's seat. Anyone
Okay,
else?
a few reminders for
Okay.
those providing testimony. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. If you would like to testify, please raise your hand. If you're joining us on Zoom via computer, press the raise hand button, which is under the reactions icon. And if you're calling in via phone, press *9. Our first testifier today is Sandy Ma.
Go ahead, Sam.
Good afternoon, commissioners. I am unable to start my video because the host has stopped it. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. I had submitted written comments. Also, I just want to thank the commission for allowing us to testify. My name is Sandy Ma. Oh, I'm able to start my video. My name is Sandy Ma. I'm with Common Cause Hawaii. Thank you, Chief Elections Officer Nago, for your report. Common Cause Hawaii would like to extend our services and our assistance, if we could provide any, and for implementing of automatic voter registration, and for any updates to the elections by mail law once if the bills get signed into law by Governor Ige. We had also submitted some information about some voters who were removed from the voter rolls. We received some information that 2.4% of Hawaii voters were removed from voter rolls, and these voters had voted in the 2018 elections. And we wanted to make sure that these voters were removed in accordance with Section 8 of the National Voter Registration Act. And so we were wondering if the Office of Elections, the clerks, and the Elections Commission can double check to make sure that the voters were properly removed in accordance with Section 8 of the NVRA. Those were just my comments, and if we could get a report back just to make sure that voters were all properly removed, that would be great. Thank you, and of course, available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Scott, do you want to answer any of that now or later?
Yes. So I will go verify with the county clerk to make sure that all voters were removed in accordance with the National Voter Registration Act. But the procedures are, the only way we can remove a voter pursuant to federal law is if the voter either removed themselves or request to be removed, or we get a bounce back mailing. So if the clerks get a bounce back mailing, because either the ballot bounce back or a yellow card or notification card bounce back because it's non-forwardable, that's the only way we can start the process. So once we get a return mailing from the USPS that person is no longer there, the process starts where we would send them a follow-up card that's forwardable, which would then inactivate them, and they can't be removed for two general elections after that, and that's federal law. And I will make sure the counties are following that. To my understanding, they are. But I will double check.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Next testifier is Bart Dame.
Aloha, commissioners. My name is Bart Dame. I'm testifying as an individual. For those of you who don't know me, I was an election observer for 6 years in the counting center. And also I was one of the lead activists in the group called Safe Vote Hawaii that lobbied for and got passed the bill that required all voting machines, electronic voting machines in Hawaii, produce a voter verifiable paper trail, which could also be used to audit the accuracy of elections. So I have some background in this. For those of you looking for bias, I'm a very active Democrat, but I am speaking as an individual, so they shouldn't be embarrassed by anything I might say here today. I have a question for Scott. In reading your operations report, I saw that SB 548 included language that made it so that ballots can be, you said pre-processed in your oral remarks, but in your report it says they can be counted beginning 18 days prior to the election. Am I misunderstanding something? And also, as I understood the system we were using before, and I think it used in recently, the mail-in ballots could be pre-processed, meaning they could be opened and signatures could be validated, and maybe they could even be taken out of the inner envelope, but no ballots would be processed, be counted until sometime in election day. Is this law changing that? And if so, are there adequate safeguards to ensure that the two things? One is that the process is being observed by official observers. And second, if there are official observers watching the count, how do we swear them to secrecy? Because in the past, when it was just an accounting center, we had people who were reporting out to campaigns what the results were. How would that, with 18 days of vulnerability, how would we protect against that? Thanks.
Can I answer that now?
Yeah.
Okay. So the law, once we switched over to elections by mail in 2020, the law did change where we can actually begin pre-processing ballots 10 days prior to the election. And when I say pre-processing, that is opening up verifying signatures, opening up envelopes, removing the ballot from the secrecy sleeve, and then running them through a counter. Results cannot be tabulated prior to the election. This has all been done in the presence of official observers such as yourself. They all have to sign a non-disclosure agreement prior to, and we do ask them to maintain the integrity of the election. But the law did change 4 years ago, or whenever elections by mail passed. What this bill does is it takes it from 10 days to 18 days when ballots go out, because we looked at the process that we had for 2020, and if the turnout was high, but if it gets any higher than that, we're going to run into an issue where we're not going to have enough ballots. We're not going to have all the ballots processed in time for the 7 p.m. release of results on election day. So this allows for growth. We may not necessarily process on all 18 days or count on all 18 days, but it allows for growth. And 2020 being the first election with that high growth, if the trend continues, we're going to need more time to do that.
Okay, this is Bart again. So my confusion was over the word counting. And so counting to you means tabulating the results, not just scanning the ballots in, but actually taking those results and then putting them into a database or spreadsheet and counting them, right? So that's what I was confused, correct?
So when I say counting, I mean pre-processing. So we do scan them. We just do not tabulate the results to produce any sort of results until election day.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, who's next?
Next testifier is Janet Mason.
Thank you very much. I'm Janet Mason from the League of Women Voters. I wanted to follow up on Senate Bill 1289, which concerned strengthening the election observer program at the county level. This bill did not pass during this session of the legislature, but the League remains interested and concerned that we strengthen the county level election observer work. And I just wondered if there were specific recommendations in the bill for new actions that needed to be taken. And we really don't want this to just drop off the radar screen.
Scott?
So the bill she's talking about would require the observation of, off the top of my head, the observation of signature verification. In speaking with the counties shortly after the session, when this bill did not pass, the counties are all in favor of transparency. The counties are in favor of transparency and having observers. I guess one of their concerns they have is if there are observers present, or when there are observers present, they don't really necessarily know what the flow of ballots is going to be. So their concern was scheduling observers to observe the process, but not have anything to observe. But we are working with them to try and make the process transparent. And we do understand it's just a balancing act we have to do of making it a transparent election, as well as making it worth observers' time to actually go down to their processing facilities.
That's good, because truthfully, most of the work in a vote by mail election takes place at the county level. So we're pleased that that's happening.
Okay, Janet, any more?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, next.
There are no additional testifiers.
Thank you. Commissioners, any final questions for Mr. Nago? Okay, hearing none. Now it's time to call for a motion to enter into executive session.
Commissioner Kohler so moves.
It's moved. Is there a second?
Mike Curtis, second.
Thank you, Mike. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Vote. Okay, we're going to move into executive session.
So Scotty, if you don't have anything else, I would move to adjourn.
Is there a second? I'll say, is there a second? Please. Everyone's still muted, just you and me. We're looking for a second for adjournment.
Kohler,
Second.
second.
Second,
Well, thank you very much, Commissioner Kohler. All right,
Yep.
everyone. I thank you for a very good but short meeting, and short is good, and the meeting was good. And thank you very much. And until we meet again. Aloha.
Till we need again. Bye.
okay, welcome Kalani, nice to meet you.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
Clyde, you're replacing a great guy.
I know, I have to fill.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Aloha.
Aloha.